Hello, welcome back to the Book Geek. My name is Will, and we are going to talk about Stations 11. Now, Stations 11 was quite a phenomenon when it comes to publishing. It's kind of a shame that the writer's other work isn't as well known, and I would wholeheartedly recommend going out and finding her work. She is a fantastic writer. This is an edition I got in an airport many years ago, travelling, and it even came with the little... Oh, there we go. So where do we start? Stations 11 takes place 20 years after a major flu pandemic with a kill rate of about 99%. Vast swathes of population are now dead, cities are abandoned. Society has basically gone back to townships and travel. The story and the narrative cut between the past and the future, basically. So it cuts between how it happened, what went down, to where it is contemporary in the book. You see the fallout of the characters, the rise of religious fundamentalism within these communities, and you see other stuff as well. You see a lot of personal intergrowth between these characters. Stations 11 follows a group of actors who are all interlinked in some way. When it flashes the past, you realise that. But it follows them. They travel around what's left of the world, or what's left of North America, doing Shakespeare, performing music. This is a hell of a book for that reason. It's powerful and it's profound, and when you go into it, you kind of end up not being able to put it down. It's a slow boil in parts, but in the best way. It's interesting given the fact that I firmly believe that it will be disease that kills humanity in the end. This is genuinely quite unsettling in parts, and genuinely quite spooky in parts as well, because you're kind of on the edge of your seat, and these characters and the interplay between them, their lives contrasting before the outbreak, this pandemic, to now. This is also being turned into a television series, by the way, so I think it's HBO are doing it. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And I'm really looking forward to that, because I think this would work really well on screen because of the nature of this beast. So I'm going to read you a bit of the back of the book. Day 1. Flu expands over the surface of the Earth like a nuclear bomb. News reports put the mortality rate at 99%. 2 weeks later, civilization has crumbled. 20 years later, a band of actors and musicians, calling themselves the Travelling Symphony, move through their territory performing concerts and Shakespeare to the settlements that have grown up there. 20 years after the pandemic, life feels relatively safe, but a new danger looms and it threatens the hopeful world every survivor has tried to rebuild. Moving backwards and forwards in time from the glittering years before the collapse to the strange and altered world that exists 20 years after, Station 11 charts the unexpected twist of fate that connects 6 people. Stations 11 is genuinely a very profound book, and it deals with subject matter in such a beautiful way. You can't put it down. You go in there, and these characters and the interplay, and the fact that these characters feel so human and so real that you genuinely can't say... There's nothing in this book that won't leave you surprised. I've read this book many times in my life. It's one of those books that has stayed with me because of that, because of these interplays of these characters, and the human depth and the emotion and the stakes of this story are very high. And without saying too much about the ending, a profound ending that just will get you and leave you like, wow. Stations 11, I think, will probably remain one of my favourite books for that reason. It also asks, what would you do? I mean, given the fact that we are having flu outbreaks, viruses mutate, what would we do if it was a silent end of the world? What would we do in a situation where literally civilization is dying around us? People we love are dying. People that we know are fading from existence. Stations 11 is Station 11. I always put the S on that, and I don't know why I do it. Maybe it's just my accent. Station 11 is a profound and beautiful and gutting read for those reasons. And I'm so glad I have my airport edition of the book. And that's not kidding, actually. I bought this at an airport, hence the reason it's the hardback in a paperback, which are airport editions for some reason. But yeah, just a beautifully profound novel. And I want to recommend the writer's other work. Last Night in Montreal, The Singer's Gun, and The Lola Quarter are all fantastic. And this is equally as fantastic. This is just a gorgeous book. But it does ask you what the hell would happen if you were put in that situation yourself. What would you do? How would you deal with it? So I'm going to say, tell me what you think in the comments below. It will be interesting. You've read this. What did you think? How did this book resonate with you? I also want to say thank you to all the new people, and please share and subscribe. So, bye guys.